Ladies, you think you know what men want? No, it's not about perfection. It's not about looks. It's about something much deeper. And in this video, I'm going to reveal to you what men are actually looking for in a woman. And no, it's not just what you think it is. It really is much deeper. Hello, hello. I am Kelvin Troy Johnson. I'm a dating and relationship coach. I was a men's counselor for many, many years, 15 years, 17 years, something like that. I lost count. And today I am a men's coach as well as a love coach. I got women clients, I got men clients. But today I want to go deep on what are men really looking for. Listen, I was doing that work for many years, and I'm still doing the work with men, hearing the desires of men, hearing the hearts of men. And I want you to know exactly what's going on in this year, because what men want this year is different from what men wanted 5 years ago, right? The men are different. And I want you to understand what men want in today's times. But before we get into it, go ahead and hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. I want you to follow this channel right here. I want you to drop your comments, be involved, because this is some vital information that you're going to need. At least be able to pass it on to your friends and to your cousin and them, and help somebody out with this content that you're going to get here today. All right. All right, so look, let's start with some of these misconceptions that women might have about what men really want. Let's start with the first obvious one. Men only want looks. Men are only interested in how a woman looks. Women often believe that men are only attracted to looks and men are all superficial, and that men only care about face and body. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Men do care about face and body, right? But it's not the sole thing that men are attracted to, because after a while, you get used to the face. After a while, you get used to the body. But then the question is, what else are you? Here's another misconception, that all men want a submissive woman. That is not true. Now, there are some men who like a submissive woman, but there are also a lot of men who don't want just a woman who's just going to be a yes, sir, just a Serbian, a subservient person to just, do the things that he tells her to do. Most men in today's times want a woman who, with her own mind, with her own life, with her own hobbies, her own interests. He doesn't want to be your all in all. Here's another misconception that many women have, is that you might think that most men just want a woman who's just going to be agreeable about everything. Some women really do believe that if they just go along and just, go with his plans and just let him do everything, and you're just along for the ride and all of that, and that's what men want. I'm telling you, that is not what the modern man is looking for when he's looking for a serious partner for his life. A lot of the men that I coach and have coached in the past, they want a woman who will push back, a woman who will introduce new ideas, a woman who has her own perspective and is not just waiting for him to just come up with everything. Let me give you this one last misconception. Some women believe that men are only interested in casual relationships and want multiple women. In my time of coaching men, I have discovered that most men actually just want one woman. I know you can't believe that, but most men just really want one solid woman that they can just put their heart and their soul into, and that who won't stab them in the back. A woman who'll be kind of faithful to him, and really just have his whole back and helping him be a better man. Despite what you're seeing on social media and everybody try to be a player, look, a lot of men actually just want a girlfriend. Actually, a lot of these men they really do want a wife one day and want a woman who will be by his side, but he wants the right woman. So now let's get into what men actually want from a woman in this modern time today. Men are looking for a woman that they can have emotional safety with. Men crave a space where they can just be themselves, where they can put down the armor and they don't have to be a utility, somebody who's gonna go and do, and everything is built in what he does. Some men just want to be. What does he want to be? He wants to be respected. He wants to be understood. He wants to be heard. I saw one time I was watching some show, and there was a woman who was expressing herself, and she was sitting there with a couple of men, right? And she expressed her point, and when it was time for them to speak, she made her point, and then she stopped and let them speak. And after they finished their point, there was a pause, and then she spoke, and the guys stopped there. He said, wait a minute. Look, can I stop you for a minute? Why did you do that? I noticed it became noticeable that she would let them fully express their points, and she would sit there with her hand folded, waiting for them to finish, and then she would express herself. And they were like, whoa, wait a minute. We're not used to this this isn't something that's common. We don't normally see this sort of thing. And she says, I grew up in a household where we respected the men of the household. And when my father was speaking, I wasn't talking. And then when he asked me to talk, that's when I expressed myself, and I respected his masculine leadership. And I do that same thing to the men who are in my presence today. That, ladies, is very attractive to a man. Now, here's the second thing that men really want in a woman. Men want a partner, not a project. I'm telling you, men appreciate these women who bring their own strengths, their own talents, their own ways of thinking to the table. Look, your perspective together with my perspective makes a better whole perspective for all of us. I don't, in modern days, we don't need a woman who's just going to just only think of my way. Oh, your way is right. Or think that her way is always right. Nobody's way is always right, but we can be right for each other and right together. All right, let's go with the third one. Men in this modern time are looking for women with kindness. I know this seems obvious. And once upon a time, this was the average trait of women in the modern times, right? It was obvious that women were to be kind, women were gentle, women were soft. But in our time today, women are often ready to fight, ready to argue, ready to conflict, ready to listen. You don't have to fight us. You don't have to, push your way in, right? Femininity is soft and receiving. Give us a space to come in and receive us. And if you don't like it, you can reject. All right. But allow him to present to you. For men, I tell guys, look, men are no longer chasing. Men are not to be chasing women, right? Here's what you are to be doing. You are to be presenting her with an opportunity. Okay? We're presenting with an opportunity. We're not chasing. We're saying, hey, would you like to come with me on this adventure called life? Yes or no? I'd love to take you here. I'd love to spend this time with you. I'd love to. And ladies, if he's not saying that, then just move on, right? Don't be on, I tell my client, don't be on the text message back and forth with a guy who's not trying to make a date with you and not trying to see you. That means he does not want you. So you are to move on. So kindness is very important. And to me, it is a woman's superpower because a lot of women in today's times just don't have it. All right, so let's keep going on this. Men are looking for authenticity. Okay. Authenticity, like the real you, not this Instagram, TikTok version of you, not this all always made up to look like the doll, looking Barbie looking person, right? Men in modern times are looking for your authenticity, looking for the real you. Like, where, how do I know this is really you? What, you know, men don't want women who are just performing and trying to, it's like you read the whole book. I've seen a woman before who just tried to check off all the boxes and tried to say all the right things. People can feel when you're being fake, right? Especially men in today's times, right? But if you're authentic, look, if you don't like cigar smoke, you tell him, I don't go to the cigar bar because I don't like cigar smoke, right? You don't go there and choke and act like it's okay. I had one client one time, a female client, who she was allergic to seafood. And the guy invited her to a seafood restaurant. And she gets there and once she gets there and sits down and look at the menu, she says, uh-oh, I'm sorry, I can't eat anything in here. So she ended up eating salad. In this high-end restaurant, she ended up eating at a high-end seafood restaurant. She ends up eating salad and breadsticks. And I told her, I said, look, you are never to play yourself small like that, just to fit into somebody's frame. And I'm sure that guy didn't even want that out of you. He wanted the real you. He probably would have had a better time if you went and got a burger and fries. At least it would have been something that you could eat and you could enjoy. The real you is what men in our modern times really want. All right, so let me address some of these things that you might be thinking. You might be thinking, no, Kel, I know men and all they want is sex. Here's the thing, you guys. Women want sex. Let's be honest. We're human beings and we crave sex, right? And I even tell my female clients, look, there's nothing wrong with a man who desires you sexually. As a matter of fact, you want a man who desires you sexually, right? Do you want a man who doesn't desire you sexually? No, you don't want that. Now you want him to want you for more than just sex, but there's nothing wrong with him desiring you sexually. You want him to desire you sexually, right? And you are open to give him sex at the right time. Now, it's not for me to determine when the right time is for you. That's for you to determine when the right time is for you. But you do want to engage in intimacy with this man at some point in time. Now, if he's the kind of guy that you don't feel anything like that for, then he's not the guy. If he's the kind of guy you don't feel any romantic feelings for after getting to know him, after spending time with him, after having an exchange, you still feel nothing, then that's a sign that you need to move on. That's a sign that this isn't the guy for you, because the guy for you has to spark that feeling of desire, that feeling of connection, and that feeling of wanting you and being together with you. So, it's got to be there. And if either it's there or it's not. And if it's not, hey, thanks for the ride. Thank you for a lovely evening. I hope you find what you're looking for in this world and you move on. All right, so here's my challenge to you. Ask yourself, am I showing up authentically? Am I showing up in a truthful manner? Is he getting to know the real me? Am I creating emotional safety for him? Does he feel like he can talk to me? Does he feel like I'm somebody he can express himself? And you can tell when a man feels comfortable with you enough to want to express himself. Why? Because he does it. And if a man does not feel emotionally safe with you enough to tell you about his hurts, tell you about his fears, tell you about the thing that he's scared of, tell you about the thing that makes him happy, the thing that hurts his heart, right? If that man is not there for that, then he's probably not the guy. Or for up until this time, you have not created an environment where a man feels emotionally safe with you. So I got this other video, and it's called Stay With versus Play With, How Men Decide the Woman They Want. I want you to watch this video, and it's going to really take you to the next level and give you some things to look at, how men decide on the woman he really wants. You got to study this stuff to really get good at it. All right. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for hitting that like button. Look, hit that subscribe button. Look, we got more of this coming. The more you hit the button, the more you'll see, and the more we will keep it cranking. But I want to hear your opinion on this. Drop your comment down below, and we'll see you the next time. Peace.